Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. Welcome to this open circle. And we are opening the field, opening the gate, and at the same time, expand by our presence. Good evening, and welcome here. This is open circle for feminine empowerment. We had the opening for the masculine circle of empowerment, and you will be able to reach that on replay. Breathe. Sense your body and allow yourself to enter the space, this energy, this mutual field of energy by choice, using your intention. I am your channel and your field holder. I am here to hold the energy in the field for our collaboration into the opening of this new era consciousness and the possibility that's brought into us in this day. Breathe. And we are gathering here the females, the women, connects through our intention, through our collaboration that goes beyond understanding, beyond comprehension. Good evening and welcome. The females, the women enters one circle. The males, the men enters one circle. These two circles is present here at the same time. You sense the gathering. Perhaps you sense the strength of energy and the supports it brings to you. It supports you into the liberation of tensions and programming into being non-fulfilled. We are gathering here to open the fulfillment of our own expression into our truth, being supported by these open circles. We will go into a deep connection with conscious consciousness to get supported by the field, to find our own version without distortion, to be clear, to be true, to be liberated from codes, programming into a lot of difficulties, struggles, disturbances that invites us to fight each other instead of supporting each other in peace. We are going against these programmings, these codes. We are meeting them with effort and with strength and with, you could say, intention. Good evening. The energy now invites me to go deeper into the channel state. And the man gathers in their circle now. and open the intention, the wish for support that's brought to you here. The women, the females, opens the circle of empowerment. Allow it to arrive from within. The males, the men, open the intention on receiving. And the women, the females, steps in with the intention to the empowerment. Strength have been carried in and measured by a lot of negative measures. The strength we are opening here is measured through your heart, and not only your heart in any way, but your heart in the way that stays with your truth. Your truthful heart carries the measure of the strength. Allow yourself just for a couple of seconds to meet this measure of your truthful heart. Your truthful heart, how will it measure the strength? The males, the men, hold the intention on receiving. The women, the females, stays in the empowerment. Empowerment. Breathe. If any tension builds up, it often relates to the shift in your consciousness and some layers that have troubles keeping up. A couple of sighs support your system to realize what's a better version, releasing distortions. Both for the males, the men, the females, and the women in this open circle for female, feminine empowerment. Male, feminine empowerment. The men, the males gathering in the circle for receiving. The women, the females, hires the circle of empowerment, feminine empowerment. The truthful heart measure the strength that comes with the empowerment. Strength in liability. Strength in community. Strength in mutuality. That kind of measures. That goes to deeper and higher pleasures. The male, the man, goes deeper into the receiving. Allow the bodily experience to enhance the energy and the sense of a deeper need that opens here beyond comprehension, beyond realization. It opens here. The female, the woman that carries in and expands the circle for feminine empowerment, ignites deeper and higher, and unites needs with blessings. Needs uniting with blessings. Expands the carriage of the empowerment of the power, the strength, into your truthful reality. We have no words for these purification processes of our needs. When they're unifying, when they are non-compromising by blessings. The males, the man stays present in the circle of receiving. The energy system connects with grieving and adultery presence at the same time. The truthful heart strength open in the receiving. The women, the females stay strong in a circle of female, feminine empowerment, activating the man's circle for feminine empowerment. The grieving release stones of non-measures of truth, carried as a burden from within. The releases opens to a foundation of truth. The males, the men, stay strong in the circle of receiving. The women, the female enters deeper with a higher sensitivity into the circle of feminine empowerment, carrying the strength of the rightful heart in, the truthful heart. The women, the females stay stronger and open for the carriage of non-separation. the males, the men, stays in receiving. And maybe sensing the shift, the change that comes by non-separation. Allowing it, allowing it, allowing it. Together we release the separation. A separation that ignites a non-sense of grief and a strange kind of pride, a pride without a name. With the relation, an open space of openness arrives in both circles. Breathe. The openness unifies. The males, the men, opens the strength of receiving. The women, the females, get stronger in the circle for feminine empowerment, sharing. The programming, the codes for non-truth is decoding, are decoding. It's like a disturbance that's vibrate. Give space for a presence of grace. And truth. The men, the males, sense the grace in receiving. The women, the females, experience the expansion in the circle for feminine empowerment. the strange ignitions of personality that creates a strange reality is invited in to be ignited in a version that makes sense and gives you a presence in life that brings pleasure. Pleasure that comes with the rightful heart's, the truthful heart's measure. A lot of strange programs, patterns is released. Maybe you sense the relation like a liberation that comes with these. It's really difficult to dance with these programs, these patterns. It's like being in collaboration with a lot of beings, a lot of creatures that you can't see, that have their own agreement, their own reality. Whispers in your ears invite you to fear and to fight. Let's not listen to them anymore. We are collaborating here to close that ear that listens to these voices that ignites the fears. The man, the male, stays with intention on receiving. No matter how perfect or difficult it is, allow it to be whatever. And sense a shift, what's changing by itself, by just being here, collaborating with the energy, the field, the new era possibilities. The women, the females, sense a hiring of sensitivity, a sensitivity for pleasure in the reality that's here, the actuality. This shift into actual pleasure possibility opens in the females, the women, in the circle by the feminine empowerment. By this sudden, nearly automatic choice of pleasure in the circle. A change opens in the male, the men's circle. The receiving change into a broader perspective. A higher bandwidth of receiving. Sense the body. Support with the breathing. Together we unlock the ability to reach pleasure in what is measured with the hard truth. In the truthful heart gives a complete new start in liability, your liability to yourself. Allow it, allow it, allow it. The first layers of codes, of patterns is now released. So let's go higher and deeper. Go to the state of consciousness that we only reach in moments of peace, love, and harmony. In these layers, these possibilities, these vibrations, these frequencies, there are locks that kind of kicks us out. Let's release those locks so we will be given the availability to choose by ourselves in our own reality. The women, the females, sense the strength and the choice, the intention on being allowed to make your own choices for pleasure. Only with your own measure. The males, the men, sense the strength in the circle. And by the receiving, opens to a new level of sensation, a new level of realization. Of togetherness and the strength in this for pleasure. Pressure in life, pleasure in what is. The purification process ignites. Stay strong as we unify. The highest and the deepest vibrations carries in the liberation. The automatic closure that only stays open with devotion. The difficulties with devotion is that it comes with a lot of codes that comes with separation, a lot of codes that comes with hierarchies and a lot of memory in our heritage libraries about difficulties and danger. We are releasing those memories of difficulties and dangers that's not related to your reality. And that's the higher part of it. The women, the females, opens the strength for devotion. The males, the men, stay focused in receiving. The enhancement of the energy in the health field in this open circle for feminine empowerment now reach the non-locked state of consciousness. The consciousness can stay the old codes for danger and hierarchy is on the edge of igniting. But as we are uniting, it can't reach us. Stay focused. Sense whatever comes by, allowing it. The consciousness can sense something everywhere. Sense the movement, the waves, something that comes, something that goes. The enchantment of the ancient codes is released as we are mutual, enhancing the strength of what makes sense in our own here and now reality. The males, the men, stay focused in receiving and sense the shift that comes here. A softness, an availability for the receiving that wasn't here just before. The women, the females, sense in the strength a sense of trust and peace, a sense of ease. Standing strong in a circle for feminine empowerment. Releasing the codes for fears, the codes that dismantling the strength. Release, release, release. The previous ignition in both women and men to follow the needs for fulfillment has been so distorted, so disturbed, that it's often dangerous because it disturbs the truthful heart in finding its measure. Gives us difficulties in staying at the path. The path that brings life. The path that unifies. The path that gives us meaning in ourselves and in our mutual life. Let's release. Let's dismiss these codes of fear. Igniting a new foundation for purified pleasure. And maybe we don't even know it, even if we find the measure. But then we are here for adventure. Adventures within ourselves, the first and then with each other. The male, the man stays open, receiving. As these dangerous codes and locks is releasing, are releasing. The women, the females, is followed by the strength into a new meeting with a not disturbed agreement with yourself. And your truthful heart. The feminine wisdom, courage from within, ignites the senses in a way that makes sense, support you in meetings everywhere that is completely aligned with who you are and who they are. The collaboration of wisdom opens through our presence that's not pre-ignited with these disturbances. Allow yourself to be curious to see what happens in yourself in the days to come when you meet other people, what happens within by itself. A certain light appears, a certain possibility to invocate something that makes more sense to you than before. Allowing these suddenly appearances of possibility, giving it some space, some consciousness, creating new realities in yourself and in togetherness that wasn't there before. Be careful with the stories and the previous history. Allow it to be completely what it was, but not recreating it into what is. We are supporting each other here, going deeper and higher again to release the patterns, the codes for fears and struggles and patterns. The males, the men, sense a shift into the enlightened version of receiving. The women, the female, sense the expansion in the circle for feminine empowerment. In the expansion, a settlement of non-disturbed invitation begins. The disturbed invitations comes from deep old codes of history, inherited, carried within the activations from within. And the difficulty is that these invitations is carried in energy, reaching each other, creating enhancements of difficulties. Like being in a cloudy version of communication all the time. We are igniting the light, supporting the clouds to vaporize. The men, the males, sense again the shift as they stay in the intention of receiving. The shift into the receiving to be continuously activated. As a male, as a man, to enter the continuum of receiving is a sacred gate. The women, the females, stay strong in the circle of feminine empowerment. Enters the gate of pure intention, pure invitation. And that's a sacred gate as well. A pure invitation can also be a non-invitation. The purification process goes higher and deeper in both circles. The truthful heart measures, opens into the mutual field and the personal field at the same time. Creates the possibility of complete release of the strange, distorted personalities that ignites and creates patterns and invitations that doesn't make sense. They're released, dismissed. Breathe. The women, the female reach the gate, the sacred gate of pure invitation. The males, the men reach your gate, the sacred gate of continuously receiving, the continuum of receiving. The codes that we are releasing, the first part of the region is in your nervous system and in the embedding in your DNA activation. But now we will flood the system with release in the cells, in your energy system, in your energy. Support your system, your energy to find itself, your alignment from your highest to your deepest version will all you can be. The male, the man stays in receiving. The women, the females, stays in the strength, in the circle for feminine empowerment. Feminine empowerment in the females and in the males. The women, the females carries the circle for feminine empowerment for both circles. And the males, the men carries the receiving for both circles. The flooding of positive energy carried by your nervous system and your DNA embedding in the memory system. Now ignites your kind of purified pleasure. And be sure, be safe. Even though the purified pleasure might not feel so good right now, it might be a sense of activation of a sensation you haven't sensed before. Then it can be like being tickled or being teased a bit. Allow it to support you well into a sense of a breeze when it's hot. Waves of purified pleasure. Support the release, the activation to go beyond the nervous system, and the DNA activation opens in the cells in the energy system. Together we reach the highest and the deepest possibility to be released of the locks, the distortion, the disturbance. The hard truth measures stay strong, supporting your system through the alignment to exactly know what's right, what's wrong for you, what's enough, what's much. It settles as again a wave of purified pleasure release throughout your system. Your version. The women, the females stay strong in the circle of feminine empowerment. Sensing the shift, the liberation. This nearly pre-activation of making yourself small, invisible, not seeing, is released. The male, the man, stays in the receiving, sensing the shift, the change related to being left alone, and the strange kind of dignity that doesn't make sense is released. Sense of freedom with ease, mutuality, and pleasure by being yourself at the same time. The truthful heart, the rightful heart, carries the foundation for soul pleasure. Through the circle for feminine empowerment, together we reach the foundation for soul pleasure. Slow soul pleasure leads the direction that gives us more soul pleasure. The women, the females, stay strong in the circle for feminine empowerment, reaching soul pleasure. The men, the males, receive and reaching the levels of soul pleasure. The purification process is fulfilled. A new creator state of love, peace, and harmony opens here. Allow your consciousness right here, right now, and in the days to come to find every possibility that creates soul pleasure, your version, and in the mutual field. Togetherness enhance soul pleasure and is long-term sustainable. So whatever soul pleasure you're carrying, give your consciousness energy to follow the possibility with nearly unlimited capacity. Slowly, this circle is landing and opens for a moment with possibilities for sharings and questions, if any is here. And sorry for the language here and there. I can hear it myself, but I can't reach the highest tone for finding the right vocabulary because of the energy and the following of the channeling. Small, soft waves settles in, supports us well. It was really strong, a really strong experience. And I must say that I was surprised by the theme. I didn't know about the theme. I didn't know about what would come. That's how it is to work as a channel. I loved it, and I'm curious and looking forward sense the release in different angles within myself. I know exactly how it's present in my everyday life, but I'm always prepared for the channeled work, so that's enhanced. It has been enhanced a couple of months to give my preparation a chance. So maybe these experiences of suddenly suddenly recognizing this in your everyday life comes from here. Maybe it's been here for a while with you. And sharing here, thanks for guiding and channeling to help this empowerment happen. Thank you so much for the beautiful words. Appreciate it. And I know when the energy is strong, yeah, like this sharing, I have no words. It was fantastic. Thank you. Thank you, Marianne. This was beautiful. Thank you so much for the beautiful words. It's like flowers you bring me. Highly appreciated, heartfelt appreciated. Thank you. Yeah. If you have questions afterwards, if you have questions watching the replay, please give it to me in the comments and I will come back to you. And sharing here, I could really sense all kinds of reactions in my body today, and I keep on yawning. Really intense signs of release. Thank you for sharing. And this is an initiation, the open circle for masculine empowerment and the open circle for feminine empowerment. I expect it to re-arrive monthly. So I hope you would like to join me again when I'm guided to put it up again. Thank you for everybody. It's shared here. Thank you. I have no words. Thank you so much. So beautiful. Thank you. So beautiful. Feels like the circles have created a state of how it's supposed to be. Thank you. Oh, it gives me goosebumps and chills. Thank you so much for the beautiful recognition, the sharing. So find your language in the perfect rhythm. Oh, thank you so much. So, yeah, it warms my heart for the recognition. I really try my best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here, creating this possibility in our togetherness. I have no words again together with you. This is the beginning of a new way of sharing that I will slowly open throughout the year. It's supposed to be a full program from February next year. I will slowly open different angles, different parts of this new way of sharings, and this was the beginning. Thank you for the opportunity to participate in this beautiful energy work and for the channeling. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.